Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? I'll get started right away because we don't have much time. I'm Dr. Robert Setari. If you guys ever want to get in touch with me after today, you have questions, please feel free to call me. Please feel free to email me. I always make myself available to my colleagues. I realize one day is never really enough time, so today's not the only day you're going to have access to me. Please call anytime you wish or email me whenever you wish. If you wish to follow me on Instagram and DM me, or TikTok or YouTube, these are my accounts. Let's see. Just a little bit of background on me, some medical societies that I'm part of and on the board of. Okay. Anytime I bring a device into my office, I always look for two very important things: safety and efficacy. Doesn't matter who the company is, doesn't matter what the device is. Those are the two things I look for the most. By safety, I mean side effects that are either temporary or very tolerable. By efficacy, I mean real results, not 20% or 30% improvement, at least 50% improvement or more. I prefer 70, 80, 90% improvement. And also, not just for like 1 out of 10 patients. I want the technology, the service that I provide, the procedure that I do to work for the majority of my patients. I don't need a line of patients out the door who are upset because they spend all this money, all this time, all this effort. Psychologically, they were excited about the results, and they got nothing. So I would not be up here on this stage today talking about this technology if I didn't absolutely believe in my heart about the power of these technologies. They absolutely satisfy safety and efficacy for me. So let's discuss a little bit about the market in general. The body contouring market is huge. For year after year after year, there we go, liposuction was the #1 requested procedure. Body contouring was the #1 requested procedure going all the way back to 2019. So the market is huge, the demand is huge, people want these treatments. And we had a discussion earlier about the new weight loss drugs. They're fantastic, but you know, with all of this weight loss, when patients are losing 25, 30, 45, 50, 60, 80 pounds, of course you're gonna end up with loose skin. And that's another thing that these technologies address. They don't just address the fat, they also address the skin tightening. And that's very important to me, as it should be to you, because this is what patients are demanding now. They're not happy with just, you know, their stomach being reduced a little bit or their arms reduced a little bit. They want that skin tightened up as well. Who is the target market for IgniteRF? There are 3 categories. There are those patients that have no fat and just loose skin. This is a fantastic, non-surgical way to tighten up jowls, neck, arms, inner thighs, and the abdomen area. In fact, I market this to a lot of my patients as a non-surgical tummy tuck, a non-surgical arm lift, and they love it. Nobody wants that ugly brachioplasty scar if they can not have to have it. The second category of patients are patients that have a minimal amount of fat to a moderate amount of fat, either with or without loose skin, it doesn't matter, because the technology will go ahead and melt that fat and tighten the skin at the same time. Because regardless of how you reduce that fat, whether it's diet and exercise, or whether it's through liposuction or some technology, when you reduce that fat from the fascia below, that skin's gonna drop because it's lost its scaffolding. So you need to have something that'll tighten skin, even if the patient didn't start out with loose skin in the first place, because they will get looser skin when you reduce that fat. The beauty of the IgniteRF is that it takes care of both problems in one fell swoop. The third category, which is the one I probably practice the most, is patients that have a moderate to a good amount of fat, and the IgniteRF will go ahead and act as an adjunct for me to my liposuction. I have never, ever done traditional liposuction in my career. Traditional liposuction is a dinosaur, folks. If you're still doing it, you need to stop. You need to evolve. You need to modify. It's 50 years old. It came out in 1974. As I have said in previous lectures, you wouldn't drive a car that's 50 years old. You wouldn't wear clothes that are 50 years old. Why would you offer your patients a procedure that's 50 years old when there's so much better technology and techniques now? So you need to make sure that you're not doing traditional liposuction. Traditional liposuction is dead. It's gone. It's history. And I've never done it. I started first with liposuction and the smart lipo laser, and then I advanced to the body tight, face tight. Took a look at Renuvian. Not crazy about it. Body tight, face tight blows it out of the water. It's way safer and much more effective. And now, Quantum RF, it is the Godzilla on the block. Nothing that I've seen even comes close to matching the results that I get using the Quantum RF, either as an adjunct to my liposuction or as a solo procedure. Can we play this? Play? So Quantum RF just came out last year. So it is now essentially lipo without lipo. You don't need blood tests, just local anesthesia. You can drive yourself to the office and drive yourself home, and you're back to the gym the next day. It is a single wand like this that goes under the skin. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and it melts the fat and tightens the skin all at once. But the results were unreal. They would come back a week later, incredible. Arms reduced half an inch to an inch within a week. Abs reduced 1 to 2 inches within a week. Natural looking, tight skin. It was incredible. In about a year or so, this is all you're gonna hear about. As I've said before, I would listen to this guy. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. I had the honor of being on Dr. Angela Williamson's show on KLCS TV, and she was excited because she was saying how this is the first, that people are hearing about this on her show. And I absolutely meant what I said. Mark my words, on this stage, on this date, in 2 to 3 years, everyone's gonna be knowing about Quantum RF. Everyone's gonna be talking about it. You don't wanna be behind trying to catch up to that wave. You wanna be in front of that wave. I don't know if any of you have this. I'm sorry if I'm gonna offend you. Cool sculpting sucks. I mean, it does. You all know it, I know it. It doesn't work for the majority of patients. And for, 8 to 10% of patients, they get hard fibrotic fat. What happened to safety and efficacy? But where cool sculpting failed, Quantum RF succeeds. And the way it works, just a little bit of background here, is that it's bipolar radio frequency, and it forms this incredible hot 120 degrees centigrade halo of plasma that really melts that fat and works on the fibroseptal network to tighten the skin in 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z. This video, please. You can see this in real time. Watch what happens midway. Look at the width. Now look at that width. This is in real time. This is shrinkage and skin tightening in real time. And that's just the beginning. That's the immediate acute effect. This skin tightening keeps going and going and going into about 4 to 6 months. So, how do I let my patients know about this wonderful technology? Social media marketing, of course, is one. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, search engine, SEM, search engine marketing with Google AdWords, and of course, internally, patients who come in who maybe don't really want a tummy tuck, don't want brachioplasty. I tell them, well, if you really don't want to be cut, either because they can't afford it or they just don't want they're afraid of the surgery or they don't want the scar, this is the alternative that I offer them. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit of story. Last year, Sam Cooper, I'm sure a lot of you know him, great guy. I've known Sam since 2018. Sam calls me up and says, Dr. Robert, I've got this great new technology and Mo just came out with it, and you're going to love it. I want to introduce it to you. You really should consider it for your practice. Well, I don't know about you guys, 2024 was one of the worst economic years I've ever had in my practice. It was horrible. It was absolutely atrocious. And I said to Sam, I said, Sam, I'm not in the market for a machine. I'm trying to keep the lights on right now. But my relationship with Sam is what sealed the deal. I knew Sam, I trusted Sam. He never, ever has steered me wrong, and he's always steered me in the right direction. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and got the device. Unbelievable. I am so happy that I did this, and God bless you, Sam, wherever you are, because right now, Quantum RF has essentially taken over my practice. I got the device last year around October, November, and I started doing a few cases. Now easily, I'd say half of my cases every week, 2 to 3 cases every week, I'm doing work with Quantum RF. And I'm giving you my exact numbers. Each area costs about $2,000. I do provide discounts for multiple areas. Most of my patients will do at least 2 areas, right? Upper abs, lower abs, both love handles, both arms, both inner thighs, neck, jowls. So since January, now, of course, last year when I first started with Quantum, I also had great success, but let's just give you this year to date, I have grossed almost $500,000 just with Quantum alone. The device is absolutely fantastic. It is safe and it works. Of course, you have to be well trained, and you will be, and we will make sure of that, but it is safe and it works. Here's an example of one of my Instagram postings that we just put up and is actually getting a lot of traffic. Listen for the crackles. Hear those crackles?
Yeah, I hear it, so I know it's doing something.
Yes, it is. It's melting what little fat you have, and it's tightening up the fibroseptal network to give us skin tightening. I can already see your skin's tightening.
Really?
Right before my eyes, yeah. How you doing? You good?
Perfect.
Excellent. So here's a fantastic example of the procedure in play. My patient, completely comfortable, chatting away with me like he's at the hair salon. Local anesthesia. Both of us are hearing those crackles and loving them. That's the fat being destroyed. That's the FSN being shrunk down. And you can see just the results are unbelievable. You never would imagine these kinds of results without doing surgery. And let's take a look at some before and after pictures. I mean, this is amazing. 2 years ago, would any of you have thought that this neck really could be made to look better without having to do a neck lift or a cut? Look at this. Look at these results with the arm. This is unbelievable. I could not have imagined this patient being able to tighten this skin up this much without having an ugly scar from axilla to elbow and having done a brachioplasty. But Quantum comes in and says, no, don't cut. I'm going to take care of it for you non-surgically. And it's consistent. Again, that efficacy. It's not just one patient, it's patient after patient after patient. Thank you. Now, real quick, it looks like I have a few more minutes left. I would love to get a selfie with all you guys. So can we do this real quick? See, I'm going to post this on my Instagram and tell everyone what a wonderful day we had today exchanging ideas. Oh, okay. We'll say in mode on 3. 1, 2, 3. In mode. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, please come up and ask. I'm more than happy to share with you everything that I can.
Thank you, Dr. Setari. Appreciate it.